Please welcome Kamala Harris.
You lying, scamming heifer. They should have put this heifer in jail too. Them Democrats still trying to get you back on the phone. They say you go straight to voicemail. They want their money back. They want every last dime back, Miss Oprah. Remember when you wanted to be the VP and you was making key lime pie at Mar-a-Lago for President Trump? You lying, scamming heifer. Just like we said, it's scandals everywhere. The woman wasn't competent. The entire campaign, everything was nothing but a big fraud scandal, election interference, and we dodged a nuclear missile, not a bullet, a nuclear missile. And just check this out. You just can't make this up.
They emailed me.
They got an email from the
DNC.
Okay.
And they said, hey, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are really interested in being on your show. I said, that sounds cool. Okay. I'll at least get to tell my daughter that I met the potential president of the United States. Yeah. And so I said yes, based on the fact that it would be a good story. And also they both had good takes.
What happened with Kamala?
Her take was really confusing and weird and not good. And so mutually agreed that we shouldn't publish it.
I see.
And I got lucky because I didn't want to be blamed for her losing.
Her take was that bad?
It was really, really bad, and it was like didn't make any sense. I can tell you, it was bacon as a spice. Bacon as a spice.
Bacon as a spice.
You just can't make this up.
Meanwhile, Kamala Harris's message to Democrat governors after last year's train wreck Biden-Trump debate, which was just gaffe upon gaffe, has been revealed. What did she tell them?
Well, she essentially she told all of the people who were doubting Biden that they needed to line up and support President Biden because democracy was at risk. And she used some foul language in that statement as well in order to defend Biden. But look, at the time, everybody knew the Biden campaign was in free fall. Many people were starting to realize he would not be the nominee, and that includes Kamala Harris. She had to show her loyalty in that moment. But of course, she was glad that Biden was failing because she knew she would be the one to step in, and that's exactly what happened. But she had to appear loyal. So after that debate, she was telling everyone, you need to support Biden to defend our democracy. It's literally about democracy being on the line. It was all a lie. She was very excited at his debate performance because she was the one who benefited.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our citizens. We will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Oh boy, what a show we have today. You just can't make this up. But you know what? Let's start it off with CNN. Oh hell, Scott Jennings is keeping the lights on over there. They ought to shut CNN down. Yeah, as he destroys these deranged, hack, activist liberals. Oh, this is good. Yeah. Somebody get Oprah on the phone. Hollywood, y'all send y'all money back. Send y'all money back. We got the biggest another big scandal after another big scandal. We just seen the biggest scandal in American history with the auto pin. The lady was in there drunk. They say she said she was the last one in the room. And we know why. She was pissed drunk. She passed out. Pissed drunk and passed out. I tell you, what a disgrace. The auto pen, the machine was plugged up into the wall. Send granddaddy on vacation. They had Dr. Jill running the cabinet meeting. Oh, he did such a great job. He answered every last question. And then he comes out and says that he read all the pardons, all thousands of them. That everything that was signed, that he read it. That it's all fake news. Okay. He couldn't even remember 8 names of them. I tell you, what a disgrace, man. You know, these people here. And this lady here, you know, election interference. They blew through billions of dollars. You know, she knew what was going on, you know. But then she didn't even know to be at the border. She didn't know she was border czar. I tell you. People ought to be put in handcuffs, man. People ought to be put in handcuffs.
And congratulations for explaining just how terrible of a campaign Kamala Harris ran. I mean, she couldn't keep people who want to vote for socialists from voting for Donald Trump. Look, New York City has had, frankly, terrible governance for years. And now this narrow sliver of liberal, rich, white, female Democrats who nominated Mamdani, who have enough money to leave when he destroys the city, nominated this guy. The working class went for other people. But what he's going to do is end up destroying the city for the working class, defunding the police, emptying the jails, fighting against federal enforcement of our immigration laws. The rich liberals who voted for him can leave. The working class can't.
No common sense. They finna run everybody out of New York. Y'all already running everybody out of there. And a lot of these places, y'all finna run everybody out of there, you know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And now there's a new scandal. He's supposed to be black and Asian now. You know, when it comes to these Democrats and liberals, it's about somebody got to be some kind of skin color, ethnicity, or some kind of black. They got to be black. All of a sudden they want to be the president in this. They got to be black. God dog it. Them pages went through that cabinet file and read them birth certificates. They read them real birth certificates. And some of y'all not legit. A lot of y'all is frauds. Just can't make it up. You just can't. Now there was that other video I want to show before we do a little deep dive on it. Look, drunk as hell. She drunk right now. I just know she's drunk right now. You just can't make this up. You know, you just can't make this up. Jay-Z, sorry. You had a dance party with Beyonce. How did that work out? Heard y'all pay Beyonce all them dollars, and y'all still couldn't get her to sing. LeBron. Sorry, LeBron. She didn't win. Cry about it. Trump's your president. This is good. And they ought to put Granddaddy in jail. But that brings me back to this right here.
They emailed me.
It was so bad, they didn't want to publish it. But the answer she gave, the way she was answering stuff, it was so bad, they didn't publish it. I told y'all, just be ready. More of all this stuff is going to be exposed. It's all going to come out. I told y'all, be ready for it.
They emailed me.
They emailed, like an email from the
DNC.
Okay.
And they said, hey, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are really interested in being on your show. I said, that sounds cool. Okay. I'll at least get to tell my daughter that I met the potential president of the United States.
Yeah.
And so I said yes, based on the fact that it would be a good story. And also, they both had good takes.
What happened with Kamala?
Her take was really confusing and weird and not good. And so mutually agreed that we shouldn't publish it.
I see.
And I got lucky because I didn't want to be blamed for her losing.
Listen, I got lucky. I did not want to be blamed for her losing. And y'all know she went up there and blew it multiple times. Multiple press conferences, multiple interviews, live on TV with them hacks, them hens on the spew. Yeah, not the View, the spew. Sonny hosting and all of them, went up there and just blew the motor and transmission again after they somewhat fixed it. You know how you somewhat fix the motor and transmission, but you don't take the proper maintenance. You don't do the proper maintenance after you get it fixed. And she went up there and blew it again.
Her take was that bad?
It was really, really bad. And
it was really, really bad. Yeah. We didn't just dodge a nuclear missile. I mean, a bullet. We dodged a nuclear missile. I told y'all this, man. And they ran this woman. We were this close, man. And then her scamming Lion's dog VP. He up in China drinking sweet tea. Stolen valor. He just a lion scamming dog. Yeah, you know. And then he confused. His family's confused. You know, they talking to voters like little children. They want the little boys to go in the restroom and see the tampons on the wall. Grab one, it's free. You know, his daughter make a video, goes viral. Tim Wall's daughter talking about they're really pissed off about, you know, people not wanting tampons in boys' bathrooms. I tell you, I'm telling y'all, man. Oh boy, we dodged a nuclear missile, boy. You know, and our president dropping them missiles at 11 o'clock at night, and we get a tweet. Can't have a nuclear weapon. Can't have a nuclear weapon. He been saying it for I don't know how long. Don't act surprised. He ran on it. He said what he was gonna do and did what he said. He said they cannot have a nuclear weapon. So you got a tweet at 11 o'clock at night. All right. We'll talk about the Epstein files later. Here we are.
Who is the cult? Liberals, conservatives, MAGA, Democrat, left? What you gonna do? Here's a story. Liberal podcaster reveals he scrapped interview with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz because they performed so badly. I'm going to break down exactly for you why the left is cult, the right is not. It's actually quite simple. In this interview, this guy basically says, we did an interview. It was so bad, we mutually agreed not to publish it. I didn't want to be blamed for her losing.
And y'all remember what CBS did? They edited out the question, the first answer, all kind of. This past campaign, man, this past election, and even in the last one, people ought to be in jail. People ought to be in handcuffs right now. The inside jobs, all the stuff that is taking place in the time span of the last, what should we say, last 8 years? Y'all say even before that. It should be so many people in handcuffs, held accountable. I tell you.
He's basically saying, you are terrible, you are not smart, wow, you're awful, but I don't want to be ostracized socially, so I am not going to publish this interview. I would rather a bad, insane person be president. In the meantime, on the right, prominent Trump supporters, I say, are slamming the administration, the president, and even friends and fans of Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino are calling them out over the Epstein list. Trump is under intense scrutiny, with currently Grok saying on X, the biggest story right now is still the Epstein files. So you get these liberals coming like, the MAGA people are in a cult. And they show like some random account that's got a fake avatar, and they're like, see, look, they're pandering to Trump. And then you look at the biggest, most prominent Trump supporters, and they're criticizing him right now, angry. In fact, Trump has been booed. Meanwhile, the left, they are ideologically homogenous and they fear each other. The right, a little bit. Here's the reality. Both factions, parent factions in this culture war, I know there's many others, libertarians, leftists, commies, tankies, whatever. There's always going to be some fear of being ostracized socially and offending your group. To a certain degree, everybody is concerned about offending their audience. Some are substantially worse than others. I would say this. There is nobody, for me, I'll say like, I don't want to offend my audience, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to pull back my punches and lie about what I think for the sake of audience. Maybe if I did have a bigger audience, it'd be a bigger show. But everybody to a certain extent is concerned about putting out something that would just nuke their audience. Like, I don't want to offend and piss you guys off who like and trust me intentionally or anything like that, but I will never pull my punches. I'm going to say what I think, even if people don't like it, and I'll get the thumbs down. It is what it is. People unsubscribe, some might subscribe. The left is different.
Don't worry, I get it all the time. I done came on here and said all kind of things, then pissed some people off. They left, then they came back, left again. hit the like button, hit the thumbs down, then they hit the like button again. It's okay. We family. Yeah. And if you want to leave and leave the family, it's all right. You know, if you want to come back, we'll welcome you back in with open arms. Don't worry. But I'm gonna come on here and keep it real. I might crack jokes and talk, but hey, you know what you signed up for when you came on here. When you seen my intro, you should have already knew. Rick is not around. See my president get shot and get back up and told me to keep fighting. So I got to come on here and fight every single day. Yeah, buddy. God bless America. God bless them Patriots. We're gonna keep winning.
These are tendencies, not absolutes. The left is just going to be like, I better not publish this interview because it's going to make the president look bad or the vice president look bad. Here's the story. Kareem Rama, the host of the popular podcast called Subway Takes, recently shared that he was once approached by the DNC to conduct interviews with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. However, the interview never aired. Rama claimed the conversation with Harris was so bad that both sides agreed not to release it. He said he actually felt relieved, explaining that if the video had been made public, people might have blamed him for hurting Harris's chances in the election. Speaking to Stephen Bertoni from Forbes in a video shared online, Rama said, her take was really confusing and weird, not good. And we mutually agreed to not publish it. And I got lucky because I didn't want to be blamed for her losing. Do they have the video in here? They do. Let me just play the video for you.
They emailed me.
They emailed, like an email from the
DNC.
Okay.
And they said,
yeah,
hey,
I just showed y'all this.
Because I didn't want to be blamed for her losing.
Let's go back. Bertoni reacted in surprise. Her take was that bad. He says he had bacon as a spice. The podcast Subway Takes is known for its casual interviews with people in the New York City subway system, including both everyday commuters and celebrities. And the funny thing is, the dude is like a standard general interviewer. It's not a gotcha thing. He interviewed her, and it was probably nice to her. He probably just said, well, what do you think we should do about the question of immigration? And then she went, hell, bacon as a spice. Like, I mean, figuratively, it was probably that bad because this guy's not getting her. He's not a guy who's going to be like, how come when you were in California, you did? Yeah, that's not happening. They say the idea is to capture short, strong opinions or hot takes on current topics. The show gained popular among younger left-leaning audiences. Rama, who is Muslim, first shared news of the interview with Harris in November 2024 article in the New York Times. In that story, he said that Harris's team originally suggested that she could offer a funny or sharp opinion, possibly criticizing people who remove their shoes in airplanes. But apparently that didn't happen. And I remember the bacon is a spice thing. Now Rama's latest comments are shining light on what might have been one of Harris's more awkward media moments, even though the public never saw it. Some observers have also pointed out that this situation may help explain why Harris declined to appear on larger, unscripted platforms like the Joe Rogan Experience, a podcast known for its wide audience and long-form interviews.
We told y'all why she didn't want to go on Joe Rogan. Then y'all, we seen Trump go up on there for 4 hours, and then after he went on there with Elon Musk and Joe Rogan came out and endorsed President Trump. You know, at the last minute before the election. You know, but yeah, that woman blew it, man. You know, she blew it.
In fact, they said, okay, Joe, you got to come here. And Joe's like, I ain't flying all the way out there to do this. This is ridiculous. Critics suggest her team likely realized that such appearances would be risky if something went wrong. It would be impossible to edit or delete the episode, unlike with Rama's show. As of now, neither Vice President Harris nor Kareem Raham have responded to her media requests, including from Fox News Digital, which covered the story. While no footage or transcript of the interview has been released, Rama's description of it has sparked curiosity and speculation about what was said and how it might have affected public perception. I think the story was that, he's a Muslim, and there was a question about spicing foods, and she said bacon, and he was like, "Why would you say that to me? Like, that's a weird thing to say." Let me see if I can pull that up. Actually, bacon as a spice, the archive. Harris botched interview with Muslim influencer by celebrating bacon as a spice. That was it. They say for now, the mysterious unreleased interview remains a topic of online discussion. I want to show you guys this. I highlighted this the other day. This is a charting multidimensional ideological polarization across demographic groups in the United States. What you can see here is Democrat, Republican, black, white, male, female, young and old, high income, low income, and what does NC mean? No college and college. Okay, there you go. You can see that the ideological spattering on each graph is the same shape. What this is charting is They don't explain what the numbers mean in terms of where the dot is on the map. It just means your opinion is different. We can infer many things about it based on the different demographic groups and what we know about them. That is, among Democrat and Republican, Democrat being blue, the bottom portion of the map is Democrat and the top portion is Republican. Ergo, male and female shows us that among the lower portion, which tends to be more Democrat, it also tends to be more female. The Republican tends to be more male. We can then see something actually very interesting. And it's that young people lean towards a certain, it's split in the ideological, in this map in a unique way. Whereas Democrats and Republicans are typically top and bottom, young and old are split left and right. Meaning there are young people that are conservative, but they tend to be more Democrat leaning. But take a look at this upper cap. Let's say it's shaped like a guy wearing a hat. The Democrats have this weird double bubble shape. It looks like a butt. And Republicans have a cap shape, meaning Republicans are in a cohesive space. Democrats are in a split ideological space. They have different opinions. Young people tend to lean in one direction. When you look at black versus white, you can see that even white Democrats have different political views to black individuals. Black individuals still overlapping with Democrats, but their views are relatively different. The reason why I say this shows a cult is because you can see the strong Democrat cluster that persists in almost every map in the bottom of this. The right doesn't really have it. I should say Republicans really don't have it. Meaning, among Republicans, there's a group here that's Republican. Among black and white people, even left and right, Democrat and Republican, still overlap and share some views. Among females and males, it looks pretty broken up, to be completely honest. Young and old, different, but there is this persistent bottom ideological quadrant that exists among Democrats. It exists among largely black people. It exists among largely, I think that's low-income people. And so the reason I bring that up is not that there is a correct or not correct ideology, but just that when we're looking at how the left and right behave, the left has a stronger ideological core than the right. The right has more of an overlap with other groups. The left is more likely to delete an interview with a vice president because of social fears, that the left is more willing to do that. So while it is not that the entirety of liberals are a cult or the entirety of the right is not a cult, there are culty MAGA people, there are culty leftists, but on the right, it happens sometimes. It's a tendency. On the left, it's a generality. What I mean by that is, let's just say 60% of the left are culty and scared of social shunning, and the right, 30%. So when the left says you're a cult, they're looking at a minority. When the right says you're a cult, they're looking at the majority. That is my argument and my thesis as presented.
All right, Tim. Pretty sure them patriots like, yeah, we already knew that, you know. And these Democrats ought to be walked out in handcuffs.